LSU, Alabama. Alabama visits LSU. Brian Kelly is in the house. This to me is obviously Bama's got to keep winning. LSU can still win the SEC. LSU can still go to the playoff.
Yep.
LSU can win the West, beat Tennessee and avenge a loss, or beat Georgia in the SEC title game at 11-2. Does LSU get to go to the playoff if they've got that resume?
That's an interesting thought.
Anyway, so Brian Kelly leaves Notre Dame to go to LSU. And to me, it is because he knew at Notre Dame, he just was never going to get over that hump where he could walk into a game against, I think Alabama was his main focus, and be able to say, I've got the athletes that can beat Alabama. We can do this without pitching some absolute perfect game. He had tried at Notre Dame, and he never could quite get there. He does not have LSU at that level that I think they will get to, but it's sure is a heck of a lot closer in terms of just pure athletic ability and a lot of talent that he has. I don't know whether this LSU team's better than some of those Notre Dame teams. Probably not, but this is his first crack there. How big of a game is this for Brian Kelly? How meaningful is this game for Brian Kelly? Because he gave up an extremely comfortable existence and a program that was sort of on cruise control. And he could have gone down, and he was already the winningest coach at Notre Dame, to take on this challenge. And I think it's for nights like Saturday that he just never thought he could have at Notre Dame. This is why he left. This is what he wanted. Here it is. How big is this for him, Ross?
Yeah. It's a big one, but I do think, people understand what we just said, right? The year one, he hasn't amassed probably the talent in the roster that he probably needs to beat Alabama. But having said that, they've been playing a lot better. I think it all starts with the quarterback, because they've had a pretty solid defense all season. They've played pretty well in most games. They've got a pretty solid running back in Daniels. He's kind of taken off lately. So it all starts with the quarterback. And I think Jaden Daniels and his receivers have kind of hit their stride, I guess, the last couple of weeks after that rough game against Tennessee. Keyshawn Butte, he's come around, started playing better, kind of a guy that a lot of people said was kind of checked out, so to speak. It's checked back in, I guess. And he's been playing well. So this one feels to me like it's not that the normal one of the last, 10 of the last 12 years when these two teams meet and you're like, well, LSU has no chance, in this game. And that's what it's felt like probably at least 8 of the last 10 have kind of felt like that. This one doesn't feel like that. And I think it's because LSU's playing better, but it's also at night game at Tiger Stadium, going to be pretty electric. But also it's because we've seen Alabama exposed this year. We've seen Texas almost win. We've seen Arkansas score 23 straight points to them. We've seen A&M come within a play, and then Tennessee beat them. So, there's been some holes exposed, and I kind of expect this to be like a fourth quarter game.
It's fascinating to me what the LSU fan mindset will be, because I think what both you guys are saying is right, is that, the expectation realistically is not, all right, Brian Kelly, year one, we're just going to go beat Alabama's ass. But at the same time, this doesn't look like vintage Alabama. Ross detailed the struggles they've had. They, if you want to look at it on the negative side, they are 2 plays away from having 3 losses this year. They have not been very good on the road. This will be a hell of an environment. And I know LSU fans, when they get one look at Saban, they just lose their minds. Like, we got to beat Saban. And so, I think that the expectation level may ratchet up beyond on Saturday night. It may be different than it is on Tuesday afternoon as far as what LSU fans want to see from their team. So I expect it to be a good game. I expect it to be a close game. I expect Alabama to win, but they've got to play a lot cleaner than they have on the road. They've, cut down on the penalties, cut down on the turnovers, cut down on the dumb plays and sloppy plays. So
Yeah.
I will be watching with great interest for sure.